they just have to reskin the stupid dragon to the maybe like Paris colors or whatever, and it's done, right?
I would want that. Anything though, anything. Okay, for gotcha gamers, all of us, there is this little thing inside of us where if something is limited time offer, it's just like I gotta have it, dude. Like we'll never come back again. Oh shit! Just take my left nut and my wallet right now. Like fucking, what is it? Like let me buy that.
You can have my first and second board. Just give me the limited thing.
What is a limited? I want to have it. I don't even care if it's not nice. I need it. Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast. As you can see, today we don't have Thompson again. Yeah, he's actually busy again today, so he was a little bit bummed out about it, but he did let me know ahead of time. He'll be back to the podcast next week. Some exciting news I'd like to say is obviously today's podcast is going to be very interesting. I'm sure if you haven't seen it yet, there's developer notes that just released, so it should be very exciting to talk about these topics. But because these topics are so hot and there's so many people that want to, I want to bring in here and discuss about these developer notes. We're actually having two podcasts this week. So we got a podcast here this morning, Tuesday, and we're going to upload it to YouTube. Of course, you're watching on YouTube now, but we're having a second podcast Friday night, which will be a different time slot, and we'll get some different people in and see their opinions on these changes as well. So double podcast this week, so look forward to double uploads on YouTube as well. As you can see, we have some very familiar faces here. We have Once in Love, Tyler. We have Seishi Zo. We have J-Mac. I put Fate Mem as well because I guess he's there on the side, but I don't know if he will say anything, right? But Fate Mem's at Jeff's house right now, so yeah, maybe he'll have some input later on. And we have Rune, and you can see he's wearing a happy birthday hat because his birthday.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, he said he had to do things on his birthday, but I was like, fuck that, you gotta join the podcast. So I forced him to be here. Nah, I'm just kidding.
It is today.
It actually is today. Yeah, but I didn't force him to be here. I'm just kidding, okay?
Of course, man.
He wanted to be here. I asked him and he told me. I actually didn't know his birthday was
This was
today.
actually a birthday favor from Brian to Rune.
Yeah. That's what it is. Hey, but thank you guys for joining me on the podcast, and super stoked. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. I usually have like 5 topics and whatnot set up, but I think this one topic is probably going to be able to branch out and keep us busy for an hour or even more than an hour. So topic 1, and I guess only topic, is the big one, developer notes. So if you guys don't know, recently CompToUs has made a couple of changes that they're going to be implementing real soon. And when I mean real soon, really soon here, we got a special league season coming up again, double special league season in about 2 days. And that's going to implement the new rule and the new update, which is that violent runes are going to get a change. So I'll just hand it over to Seishizo. You want to, give some info to people here about it? You got the facts. That's why you always got the facts. So lay it down and we'll start from there.
Yeah. Let's start with this. Let's start with the first one, the violent rule change, which is probably the biggest one. So, for the people that haven't read it, they start off the developer notes with like some stuff they didn't do. Always nice to hear what they've been testing on and what they didn't do, and then you get into the point. Okay, what do they do? Sounds weird.
He said doo-doo. Alright, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so they're pretty much balancing violent procs, and probably you've seen like from a couple of streamers already or like YouTubers like, violent nerf. And I think it's not a violent nerf whatsoever because it's a balance. You're gonna be proccing less if you already procced more, and the enemy is gonna proc more if you just proc more. So in a sense, it should be a buff for pretty much anyone here because the enemy always procs more than you do, right?
in that thought process, yes.
What an anecdotal way to say it.
It's not a violent nerf, it's a violent buff. Because the enemy is always
True.
proccing more, so you're gonna proc more right now. So it's a violent buff.
We're all in Once in Love chat here. I think we all know that Seishizo gets procced the most out of anyone in the world.
You can see this guy, you can tell by his voice, he's been through a lot of shit. Okay.
You've been places.
Yeah, we're all in that line group. We know.
Yeah, that line group tells us that he gets procced on the most only. He goes down
every player.
Out of every player. But it's an interesting approach. I think CompToUs is trying, I guess, but I don't know if this is going to be good or not. It's interesting for sure. I still think you're still going to get fucked by violent proc at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if it's 12% or 27%. So
12, yeah, that's actually a thing. Some people have been saying like, I'm gonna de-rune everything from violent. It's like, dude, there's still 12%.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
Resist is
Nothing, it's just an
15.
anti-proc.
Exactly.
It's just a bird. It's just a bird revenge proc.
The bottom line is this is only for RTA too. You have to realize that
Yep.
Siege, Guild War, regular arena, even though regular doesn't really
Okay,
matter.
but
with
that's
Balance
why they
Procs,
introduced the
yeah,
rune decks.
Yeah.
Because of that.
it will not affect any other thing. So if you're gonna get fucked by violent procs in Guild War and cry about it, it's still gonna stay the same.
Right.
So you need half of Reddit, if not more.
All of Reddit. So yeah, so
All of
if
Reddit.
you haven't read the dev notes, that just the change that they've kind of implemented is very simple, right? Everybody has 22% chance to proc. When you proc though, now you're gonna get a reduced chance to proc for your next one, right? And your opponent's gonna get an increase of 5%, so it's gonna be 27% now for any units on violent for your opponent to proc, while you're sitting at 17 because you just procced. And subsequently, any more procs that you get afterwards before your opponent procs, right? It's kind of like a seesaw, right? A little balance, right? As and it caps off at going down twice to 12% and going up twice to 27. No,
Once.
No, it
Once,
goes down,
once,
it goes
once.
up once, it goes down
Sorry.
twice, right?
So it's a seesaw going down
Yep.
twice and up once potentially, right? To 27% chance of proc and down to 12% chance to proc.
It's for your
So-
whole team.
Yeah,
So
for the
you're
whole
down
team.
$1,000.
It's down once and up once. It's down once and up once. Oh yeah, I guess it's yeah. it
No.
is.
So you're $80,000 still based off of a 12% proc.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So they did some testings for it, which we saw. I don't know how much we can trust the test, but I
They did
mean,
it 50 times only.
yeah. So
No.
It's good that they did 50 times. No. This is another mistake. It's good that they do 50 times because 22, if you take a sum of like 1 million, it's going to be really close to the 22. If you take a sum of 10, which is like your turns in an actual match, that's good because you need a smaller sum because those
No,
are the
no, they didn't
amount
take-
of
No,
turns.
they didn't take 50
No,
turns.
they didn't take. They didn't
They
take
did
the turns.
50 runs.
Yeah,
of
50
that.
individual matches, and they counted the procs on each side.
yeah.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
I know.
Because
I
if
agree
you-
with you, but you were saying 50 turns, which is
Yeah,
not what-
okay, that's
Yeah.
true. But
Oh.
like, if you take a small sum, you can have like the variables that are far off, and those are like the matches you don't wanna see in a tournament. Someone where one person procs once, the other person procs 10 times, and the bigger your sum, the closer the numbers will be together.
Also, did you see the number 4 gameplay where player A is 3 and then player B is 9? You see that the massive difference?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my my SWC match was 1 in 10, so
Yeah. So
So
let's
I
let's
assume that they.
go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead. Oh,
No, go ahead. So anything that you want to add to like just this starting of introducing this new violent proc rule that you want to say your thoughts on it.
So I know Say said it like is a balance, and it's not necessarily a nerf. But I mean, it can be both. It can be a balance and a nerf. And the reason I'm going to say it's a nerf is because by reducing violent, you've increased the validity of other runes. Despair, for example, is technically stronger because of it.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Fate Memory just says, so when are they balancing resistance?
Yeah, I know, right?
2021.
Balance resistance.
2021.
Thank you.
2021.
Never.
resistance, despair, revenge, those 3 variables are still missing in this checks.
And the other thing is like despair goes through resistance too, right?
Yeah.
It's just completely different. So like it's still good in the. But I wanted to be clear because like it is
Yep.
still a nerf.
It is in a sense a nerf, and especially on certain units that don't need to be on violent that much.
Yeah, so now we're getting into the discussion that I'm glad we're taking this easy because it can get kind of crazy on how we branch out, but we're getting into the realm of is this change, what everybody's asking, is this change to violent runes going to make them less valuable and make it so certain units that are on violent now don't need to be rune on violent? Can different runes be more valuable, like Swift, right? Take your first turn, and then ruling all Swifts. Your opponent, once they violent proc, they're at 12% chance to proc now. For the entirety of the match because you have no violent procs on your side. What are your thoughts on this?
But they're still 12% ahead of you taking another turn.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still 12 versus 0. You're going to sit there
I mean,
with your dick in your hand and do nothing with your Swift runes after it takes the first go, right? So it really depends. I think there's going to be a balance where I think violent runes are not really leaving, let's be honest. And
It's
I
not.
think
No, you need them.
it's not.
Proc
You
out of
need
stun
them.
is still the biggest thing for so many units.
right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a balance of like what because like what's happening right is you have to start thinking about what unit will be great on Violent and what will be even better on Swift or Despair, right? Because when you proc once, now the other player has a higher chance to proc. Now you're reducing your proc rate, meaning that someone who has a unit which has a Violent rune on your end might proc, and you might lose out on that Violent proc. Or like let's say like he procs and you go to 27%, right? That at a higher chance. Now let's say like you need something essential. You could actually predict making the unit proc even more as opposed to someone who has like arbitrary. This just say one of the martial cats that doesn't need to be on Violent. That took the proc instead of someone that's more essential.
Interesting.
You
Okay,
know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, I kind of get what you're saying there. It can actually go both ways. It could be beneficial and detrimental, depending on the situation. But yeah, definitely not just we talk a lot about people getting reduced right down to 12%, but we don't talk too much about getting increased to 27%. So that's also a factor of maybe not wanting to ruin things as much on Violent because every time you Violent now you're giving them more chance to proc. So
someone's gonna steal that Violent proc as opposed to someone like you that my Velvet Jewel slept. Maybe I'm hoping he has that 27%, but then someone else before him that moved took the 27%. Now he gets reduced chance to proc.
Right.
Get it? Yeah.
Yeah, this comes a new mind game now when you're already thinking about a lot of things when you're doing RTA, but now you're thinking of, wow, if I proc here, I can do this. If I proc here, I can do this. But now you're thinking, if I proc here, I'm giving him a better chance to proc, and if he has a better chance to proc, he's procking on a unit that I want him to proc on. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So this comes at like the kind of like the next level of thinking of Violent runes, but.
Well, me and Josh were talking about this earlier. There are specific units where we want to still be on Violent, and at the end, we can manipulate where there's a better chance for it to have a 27% proc rate. There are ways you can peg a speed that has a better chance where it goes last, right? Like some specific shield will cleave type units as well. So it is there. So it should be interesting on how people think and manipulate to use that to their advantage. At the same time, they can also get screwed by it, how they draft and also how they ruin it up. So it's a very interesting mechanic that we never really had in game as well. So
we're gonna really
there were
feel
some units we were talking about already that I'm probably gonna ruin up. So we'll see.
All right. So what units right now that are in the pool of units that are typically on Violent do you think will be better off Violent now? There's got to be some. Right?
I think Halthor, with going back to what I said about before, right?
Mhm.
So if you had a really fast Violent Halthor, and then the opponent has a much slower Vela Jewel, right? So let's say your the first two units, your Halthor goes sleeps the Vela Jewel, and then your next unit procs again. Now you're increasing the opponent's chance even higher, right? So that Violent proc from the Halthor, the really fast Violent speed Halthor, is a detriment. So now it's like a Swift Halthor is even better now. That's my opinion.
I think it's case by case though.
Yes.
Yeah.
This might sound weird, but I don't think any unit is technically going to be necessarily better or worse. I think it's all situational depending on the teams you build overall and the teams. Every unit still owns the exact same viability on Violent and Swift. Also, 5% only really makes a difference if it's significant over a lot of turns. 5% on the first turn is not that significant.
I think 5% is big.
A unit I've been seeing being put more on Violent that is currently really bad on Violent, I think, is Antares. Because this Violent takes a lot of
Jonathan Dollarcheck wants to talk to you.
What's that?
At the end of the day,
Violent Antares won SWC. Violent Antares let me beat 4 of the top 5 players in Special League very, very convincingly. And Bio Antares literally solos teams 1v4.
Damn.
Okay,
Violet and
is that because Antares is OP, or you were just lucky, or?
I want to say Antares is OP, but the fact that you can Violent proc on top of gaining extra turns. So Violent runes are good when you gain a lot of turns, right? So the more turns you gain from other sources, which is either being really fast or having another source to get a turn, makes the Violent rune stronger inherently, right? Which is why Violent teams with Verd are insanely strong. Low cooldown units with Verd are insanely strong for that reason.
But if Antares makes your whole team proc at 12% the whole time and the enemy the whole time at 27%.
Okay, but are Antares procs more beneficial than other units? That depends on the case. It's every situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if that enters kills a unit with the violent proc, that's pretty significant.
True, fair enough,
Right?
fair enough.
He can reduce the attack bar. He can slow debuff. There are a lot of different things those units can do. Right?
Okay,
Even like Yen. Yen can just delete a unit in turn 1.
True.
So kind of going back
Okay,
to
another
nothing at
unit.
all.
People have
Exactly.
been talking about Vanessa. Everyone is like,
yeah.
everyone. Most people I've been hearing about is like take their Vanessa off Violent. I can tell you a joke. Mine is not running Violent for the last 2 seasons already.
Because you don't draft it.
Yeah.
What is your draft rate? What is your draft rate? Exposed? What is your draft rate?
Probably like 3% or Vanessa or something.
Yeah, maybe that's why, sir. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, Mr. Gianna Boverk.
So yeah, so
What he used, dude?
well, so Vanessa is a unit that people are talking about. That they're like, oh, should it be violent? Should it be not? That's just an example of one, right? I think
Yeah.
it should still be on Vile. I mean, the power of Vanessa, obviously. I mean, from the passive of Vanessa is very important, but being able to proc and get that turn that skill 2 up more often is still very beneficial in a lot of cases. It's the passive and that's skill 2 and it's a leader skill. That's the power of Vanessa. So I think she still needs to be on Violet.
I heard what Josh said, by the way.
What is this? What did Josh say?
The triple
tolerance.
Hey, you guys can't make jokes because Mr. Triple Tolerance man actually destroyed everybody at the Orlando tournament.
I actually I beat Thompson. I beat
really-
Silent and lost to Tolerance, man.
You really think it's the tolerance or the dark guy?
No, I actually lost to Tolerance. My serum is 4 bombs.
Yeah, he missed a lot of stuff. So
It's 4 bombs.
Yeah, but is your
Right.
Syria 85 though, or?
I know my serum is 60 something.
right, but that's the
So
power
yeah,
of tolerance. It
that's
preys on the
tolerance.
players that are ruined around 60 something, which a lot of players do ruin around 60 something.
IslandGrown saw my match. I was so far ahead.
Yeah.
My Okeanos and Hathor outspent his Wusa. And he,
Basically
you know what he
just
said
got-
to me? He's like, hey, people put Okeanos on Swift. I'm like, where the fuck have you been in the last 4 seasons, dude?
He was too busy making Reddit posts.
Oh.
I mean, Jeff, since you're 60 though, you're only actually losing out on 10%. So 25% is actually pretty huge chance to resist.
It's pretty huge.
Yeah, and over the course of a
Should've
battle,
just
right?
won.
25 is 1 in 4. That's already quite
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, he's just
That goes back to we saying about how like 5% is not that big of a difference in the increase. It actually is because like what 22% is what 1 out of 4.5, and
Yep.
if you increase it by another 5% to 27%, that's like 1 out of 3.8 roughly.
yeah, quick
So
maths.
it's like yeah, math Asians.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like I mean, we talk probabilities and we like to talk things of the numbers, right? But if you want to talk things about how you feel of the game, basically it's just 5% more. It's like 1/4, like 25% of what you're already experiencing from violent procs increased. And that's what 27% is going to kind of start feeling like over the course of your matches. So definitely keep that in mind.
At the end of the day, I'm just gonna say if it procs, it procs. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You either get fucked by it or you don't.
Oh yeah, someone in chat told me that as well, and it was like, yeah, it's 50% all the time. I'm like, yeah, buy lottery tickets. It's 50%. You win or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so
am I a little,
go
am I a
for
little
it.
low on
Lose-
the
lose a
stream?
no,
million on that
if
one,
you're
'cause
low,
buy
I
lottery
adjust you.
tickets every
I
time.
adjust you. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Yeah, I adjust you
Okay.
up. Yeah, you'll be fine. So going back to what Tyler said about units, and you said that you don't think it's gonna change a whole lot. I think it might. Like some examples are like Tian Lang, right? A lot of people go violent Tian Langs, but does it mean that now they're more leaning towards despair only then? Tian Langs? I don't know.
Violent still good though. That's the thing.
You're right, but like units that I'm saying that are hovering between like two sets, right? Like, we talked about Hathor as well, Swift and Violent, right?
Most of
Is it
the
gonna
time,
push
those
people?
are just preference. Most of the time, it's either preference or whatever you have that's better on your account. If you
I
have
think
Aaron,
Red
not
Dawn
disabled,
would
but
be
on
the
it.
unit that is gonna be more swapped to Vamp though for sure.
Yeah,
I
see,
agree on that one as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
see
I think
units that are on the edge that
kind
can
of
be good
nerf
both
them as
ways.
well.
It tips the scale just a little more to persuade you to take that preference, right? Like you said, preference of going that way. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how people start rooting and using some of these units.
Speaking of Tian Lang, I actually see majority more despair. Like not even before this whole change is gonna happen, but ever since Tian Lang got that mini buff, I think 2 patches ago.
Mhm.
Well, in arena defense, almost everyone's doing despair. That's what I've seen.
Because the despair is more impactful in arena.
Yeah.
Right. In RTA, it's different. In RTA, both can be equally impactful, right? Getting a strip versus getting a stun versus getting a defense break. In arena, you just need the stun and you win.
Doesn't Tomato Guy use Despair in RTA?
Tomato uses a despair team lane.
Yeah. See.
He puts
Now-
his best asparagus on it.
Now I'll say a lot of players that rune units for RTA, a majority of those units are on violent currently, right? But there are a handful of players that do RTA and they don't draft or don't use a lot of units on violent. Do you think this gives them a huge edge now? Because they already draft like cleaving, they already draft like units that are not runed on violent. So now they're going to get the benefit of playing the same draft, which they already know is successful, but getting the knowledge that their opponent's going to proc twice and they're stuck at 12%, which gives you a way higher chance and percentage over your course of 1,000 matches in a season to perpetuate yourself and propel yourself into, wins.
I don't think so because
Think so?
well, it's for a lot of the cleavers, right? The release
Right,
uh,
cleavers,
shit-
first turn people, yeah.
like first turn cleavers, like it's not gonna affect them that much because if they don't win that first turn, they're probably gonna lose anyway. Not saying that that's just what's gonna happen. Some of them actually survive and win, but overall, since they're not relying on violent procs anyway, they're relying on just getting that first turn win. I don't think it will affect them that much.
How about slow cleaves then? People that slow cleave, right? Because I'm just thinking like when people are drafting cleave or snipe comps, they oftentimes run into issues because their opponent's obviously gonna know that what you're doing and they're gonna counter pick some stuff, right? Trianas and things like that. And you're gonna get into a match where you're probably gonna win. You're gonna snipe something out, but there's still chances that they can proc with verds and stuff like that and get out of those situations, and that's what causes you some of your losses. You think it's gonna be beneficial?
You're wondering if slow cleaves are going to run a violent unit? Is that what you're asking?
If it's gonna run and not run, then let's just say that in both scenarios.
I don't think they'll change it because that's like 25% stat difference, 25 to 35 depending on the runes, because you're swapping over stat runes for set runes.
True.
So you're either swapping away like a shield set, or you're swapping away a blade set, or like a will set or something. What's Josh saying?
No, someone is asking where's Fake in chat.
Oh.
Nothing to do with you.
I thought Josh had an opinion on that. I was.
Josh
waiting to hear
always
it.
has an opinion. You don't get it all the time.
True. I don't know. I don't think having that extra 5% violent proc chance on a slow cleave is going to be worth more than whatever rune stats you were running before.
I don't actually think
Yeah.
cleaves are gonna change anything. The only thing is that if I put my Hathor on Swift, actually cleaves can't cleave me anymore. That's the only thing. Because I have issues with cleave throughout the last couple of seasons, but I always ran Swift units as well. So it's gonna change for sure. There are some units that I think are gonna get fucked, like Lauren. I think Lauren has to be on Violet, and I wouldn't even rune up on Lauren right now. I think.
Yay,
I
no
also
more
don't think
runs.
that. I also don't think that cleaves are necessarily in the best place outside of like.
Let's all take a step back. Okay. So here's the thing. Before you say that any unit should be like off or on violent. First of all, I think everybody should take a look at their own drafts, and then like see like if their own drafts, are they really violent heavy or are they like kind of balanced, right? Because at the end of the day, like violent's not really a nerf because like both sides are gonna have violent units, right? It's only a very big difference when one side has like way more violent units than the other side.
I see.
So he's trying to say that Andrew's gonna get fucked.
So
Andrew, Legacy, the guy with audio violence.
Vanessa is off violence, right?
Right.
Hold on, let me tag him real quick. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, oh, go ahead.
If you have a draft that
Is he listening to me on a delay? Is he?
like
Yeah,
you already have like 2 Swift units in it, then your Vanessa should stay on violent because it's not going to get affected. But if you have a draft that's already like everything's violent, then that Vanessa should probably like come off violent. So it's really dependent on what your draft and playstyle is, not actually
So
the individual unit that like decide.
So in a world where you're drafting at your opponents and they have about 3 to 4 vial units, what is a good number now to have in terms of vial units, right? Are people actually, is this actually a thing where you're gonna be like, hey, I don't want to have 4 vial units in there. I want like 3. I want like 2. Like what's the number? Or is that gonna make a difference?
Is it matching them actually good because you guys are at the same rate, and if you have better runes in general, nothing really changes? unless you want to take the advantage and draft.
Well, but then it's just RNG again. It just
Yeah.
comes down to RNG.
You know what unit I think is actually getting really screwed hard?
Like,
Who's that?
unless you're playing, you don't want less than
Josephine? Oh
Yeah.
wait, no, but Josephine is not.
Yeah.
It's not a proc, right? It's taking a turn, but that's not considered a proc for the.
Yeah, it's not procking, but
The
when you
second
proc
one is
and
a
then get
proc.
the extra proc from the violent, she's not getting that, you know, like normal.
Yeah, but her
22%
procs are so
anymore.
impactful.
Her
that it
procs are
doesn't-
impactful though because her passive's up again.
Yeah.
Great. I
And
think
it's
units.
the same thing with Diana too.
Yeah.
Like the procs are so impactful
But-
that it doesn't matter if you proc and lower your chance. It's
How
still
about you get a proc when you have full attack bar, as in Aegir third skill or Diana second skill human form. You get a full HP or you get a full attack bar, but you can still proc.
you're
So that's
guaranteed the
100%
turn and no.
useless.
But there is an advantage to getting that proc still, right? You're guaranteed to get the turn. There's no tick,
True, but
so
kind
nobody
of-
gains attack bar.
I use this proc more or less.
Yeah, those procs are gonna definitely suck for you. Those are
Yeah,
detrimental procs. Obviously, when
I
you know
actually
you're
think it
taking
is
first
more
turn.
detrimental.
Yeah.
Even though like Tyler has the point that there's they don't get the ticks. Every single time I've seen Diana, like my Diana proc when she's like gets the full attack bar, I'm just like, oh, she's not gonna proc the next turn because that's what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's not gonna proc, and that's what it requires, right? That extra not proc to get the proc, so she could proc again.
Yeah.
All right, let's change gears just slightly here on that topic of Diana. There's something that a lot of people are talking about. People are like, "Oh, Diana is like toxic." Remember we talked about it for a long time. Do you feel like not with the changes yet, right? First question is, do you feel like Diana has been that OP or that crazy lately, or has it kind of been tamed by the Antares? Has it been
No,
It's
and Terrence and
definitely
Lauren.
Terrence.
Lauren fucks Diana
Right?
too, right?
so? Diana's
And then
already
you
in.
learn how stuff to go
Diana's now
around it.
considered in like a better spot, right? Been nerfed just because other units have been changed without even touching Diana. But now with this
Okay,
this change to
Diana
violent
hasn't
procs,
been Diana hasn't been nerfed. Other things have surfaced that can deal with her.
right.
That's not nerfing
That's
her,
what I was
it's
saying. I
different.
was saying. Do you think she got nerfed from these changes of other units emerging and being good to
No.
play against her?
No, because you can pick those units.
There's
they
so
still work with
many
her.
things that counter
Andrew
her. Though.
says it
I've
in
never
chat as
thought.
well. You can pick both.
You can
Yeah,
pick all of these units
Kohan
together.
picks Antares Diana first pick.
So you're telling me right now, what out of like 1,000 matches of RTA, you're still in your mind going, Diana is 100% toxic, just like a ragdoll,
No,
just like
it's not, but
No, right, you don't hear about it
Anytime you
anymore.
Anytime you pick Diana, it's a really, really good pick.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't see it drafted as often anymore though.
I don't see
If
it.
you're picking Diana and you are a good player,
Yeah.
you have already figured out what that person's gonna draft, or you just didn't let them draft anything that's gonna counter, and they have to ban her.
I feel like it's a terrible like a beginning draft now. It's like a
Beginning-
niche
it was
draft
always
now.
terrible at the
No, it's a
beginning,
last pick unit though.
The last
No,
pick
Diana's
unit.
always been a last
How
pick unit.
how many
good
S
last
how many
pick
SWCs and tournaments have we seen Diana picked in the first 3 monsters? Go look it up.
Never, but you should.
Often.
You
Oh,
should.
I've seen it many times picked early.
And how many of those won $100,000?
A lot because Diana was very very good. I think it was before. Actually, that was when there was Antares though.
Let's use fucking Diana.
So she is still very 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 toxic
Back
then.
then, Warren didn't exist. Back then, Antares didn't exist. Back then, Daphnis didn't exist.
And where
Yeah,
what
you
else?
speak to Fidel Lopez. He changed the meta on the spot with the fucking Lauren.
Hey, look, I love it when every single time someone picks Diana against me because Arda is just a hardcore.
Shut the fuck up.
Diana.
I mean, that's what I mean, though. You know, like Artemil, for example, as well. It's subsequently not that crazy anymore because there's so many counters to it. And what I'm trying to say is that do we feel like Diana's been put in the place that's more comfortable for her to be an RTA? Is she no longer a super omega issue as she was? Remember, we were trying to speculate how to change her, how to fix her, and whatnot. Or do you think now? Second question is: do you think now with the violent nerf changes,
Probably going to storage after this patch.
Yeah,
she's going in
Really,
storage
I'm
after this patch?
I
Really?
think so too.
Before I was
but
always
do you
afraid,
really
like
need to
against
storage her? 'Cause
Diana.
her runes are so unique compared to everything else. You don't rune anything else the same way.
That's
you rune
not true. Both me and Josh's Diana were pretty damn high in efficiency back then. It tears
Well,
through
okay,
everything,
in terms
right?
of efficiency, yes, but I mean like the style of like the runes, like speed, crit.
I
crit
can
damage,
use the
HP
little
defense.
runes that I had on it or whatever.
I think you can still
use it on
use
those
good
stuff.
runes on her, right? They're just not going to be your top tens.
Well,
But she'll
Diana
still
was
be
never
good.
on our top 10 though. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, the
I
set
don't
I
need
have on
Diana
Diana, I don't
anymore,
need on
that's
anything
right.
else.
Oh yeah, he just pulled Sierra. He doesn't need Diana anymore.
Wait, Josh Casa Sierra now?
He just
Yeah.
pulled Sierra a couple days ago.
That's
Well,
actually
GG, guys.
that's
No
actually
one can
so
beat
big
Josh
for
now.
him, dude. That's
'Cause
huge for
Sierra,
him.
if you actually look at the runes, is actually nuts. Only a little under Invictus.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Hey, wait, how
113 versus 115.
how good's Invictus Sierra as compared to the old school like OP making a butt Sierra that I don't think he has Rune that way anymore? Was that still the craziest Sierra? That's the craziest one I remember seeing.
Andrew's Sierra's better right now.
Better.
Andrew has a 115 efficiency Sierra.
Because Making a Butt's old one. You remember the old one? You remember when he was
116.
known? Like Making a Butt was known for Sierra.
User 116.
Was the old one non-crit though?
I think it was crit. It was on crit. The old one was crit, of course. Right. I just don't remember. I forgot we made a video.
Chris was not on Will as well, right?
Yeah, no Will. It wasn't on Will.
Chris was on Blade or Focus.
Blade?
Set, I
It
forgot.
was on Blade set, I think.
It was
Yeah.
on focus. It was on focus.
Yeah,
this is-
Josh is now at 112 is using a revenge set.
Ah, nice. Take down notes. G3 players? Yeah, tell me. Go
That's a
ahead.
lot of efficiency.
That's what he
That
wants to
is a
think.
lot
Let
of
me take a
efficiency.
look real quick.
Mine is currently via Will on 116. So there's
Are
always
you
room
high
for
Well, to be
improvement.
fair, you only draft 7 units, dude.
Not true at all, actually. Not true at all.
You only
I draft
need
I
to
draft
draft
Nigong
7
on
units.
ladder. No
Sorry.
joke. I draft Nigong on ladder.
8. I'm sorry, 8. You don't need to. I'm not saying that you can't draft other units. You only need those 8 units.
If I want a fair win rate, I need more than 8. I need like 20, 25.
So
2025, really?
Yeah.
Okay, back to the topics here. We were talking about Diana. So, do we really think Diana is going into storage? Diana, or not
No,
maybe
not
not
at
fully
all.
going into storage, but she definitely got a nerf from this, right? 100%. Right? What she was known for, she doesn't really do very often anymore now, and can be detrimental to you. Yes? No?
It's still a really strong unit. Even if it just turn cycles just once, it's still a strong unit in a good draft. It's just that you don't have to be afraid that she goes insanely mental 3 turns in a row and kills Roman Fury on a tournament in the first turn or something.
oh man.
That's about all. That's nerf right now. But besides that, it's still a good unit.
Well, we saw that live. I remember. We were there.
Wait.
I was there. I was
We
there.
watched the
We
match.
were all there. We saw it live.
Wait, what I miss?
Another.
You missed the best
You
part.
missed the meme, dude. You missed the
God
joke.
damn it.
Don't worry, it wasn't about you. Okay, so
Wait,
it looks
why
like
do you have that headset, by the way, Billy? You look like you work at a fucking telemarketing fucking office.
I mean, this was the only headset that could fit the hat.
What's that?
Oh, okay.
What's that? Oh yeah. We'll take a number 3, and yeah. What did you want to get, say, Shizo? We'll take a number 3 with a side
Chicken
order
nuggets.
of.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, we'll get some chicken nuggets and.
And a
And
large
Wi-Fi.
fry. And a large fry.
I'm hungry too.
I'm hungry, man. All right, so it looks like our general consensus is, and from what we've seen from this dev notes of these violent rune changes, it definitely, from what I take of it, is gonna reduce those matches that are just so crazy with procs. You know, we've all experienced those matches that are just insanely unfair in terms of procs. I'm talking like ridiculous, like the point that you already knew you lose, but it was even beyond that. It's gonna kind of remove those and make procs a little bit more balanced. So we're gonna see a lot more fair matches in the long run, which can be very nice.
But
But-
if it's not a long run, if it's like a 6-7 turn deciding, you might still get fucked hard by it.
I guess in tournament gameplay, yes, because the smaller sample size, right? But now I guess for your ladder, right, for your entirety of your season of how many wings did you do last season, guys? Seishizo, Jeff, how much you guys do?
700 or
Yeah,
so.
say like in the course of your 700
I only
matches.
did like 270 or some 250.
I was lazy.
I was trolling.
Wait,
around.
you guys did nothing? Like
How many did you do?
I did nothing.
Me?
15
Yeah,
or
how many-
1600?
Last season?
Yeah.
Not that much.
Holy
Yeah, all of us didn't do it.
I'm the only one who did RTA wings.
Yeah.
Well, how much did you do? 1,000?
I did
Like
161.
1600.
1,600?
So
Nice.
I did a
I
lot.
Are you G3 at
I
least?
approve.
You performing G1s like that?
No, dude, I was throwing because I was using Toshi before he got buffed.
Oh my god.
So Jeff did what?
No, I
200?
lied. I did
I did
1100. I did 1100 matches.
Oh,
I
we
did
did, but
161. Say you, how many did you do?
700 something.
Oh,
That's still a fair amount, 700
That's
something.
I did 30 wings a day every day for December, I think.
Why?
Heavy.
I don't know. I was using
But-
Toshi every game. It sucked a lot.
Taking that into
Oh,
another
Or they
topic
gave
that's
him the
also
buff, too.
on the
He was terrible.
on the dev notes. Do we still have to play that many matches next season?
Okay, let's move into that then. That's our second topic here I wanted to transition to.
So
Good
they
timing.
got rid of the 1900 wall right
So
now.
let's I'll let you lay it down, Station. So what did they do? So they have this whole spiel in the dev notes, which you guys can read about how they are going to be adjusting the point system for this upcoming season. Lay it down on us. What it basically is.
Before everyone knows, the 1900 wall was a bitch. But there was also a 1500 wall that was also a bitch.
Mhm.
Those two walls are gone, and they put walls at every rank. So Guardian to Guardian 2, Guardian 3 to Guardian whatever, Conqueror to Guardian 1, all of that, those are the actual changes. But another big thing that which they also did, if you were equally matched against like G3 against G3 with like similar-ish points, it was like +6 or like it was +5 and +6 or something. You always gain like 1 extra point in like the whole ecosystem of like RTA pretty much.
Right.
Like if you win like as a G3 player against someone who's way lower, you always gain 4. He always loses -3.
Okay.
So there's a net win of +1 point. Currently, as it looks like, I'm not 100% sure, it will be exactly the same. You win 4, you would lose 4, for example, or you win 7, you lose 7.
Oh, there's no longer
So-
the extra 1. So
The
we're
plus
not
one
going to
is
see
gone.
4,000 points at the end of the season then.
So technically, you can only
Tomato was
steal
to farm everybody
points.
somehow.
Yeah, you can only steal the points from other people. You cannot pretty much like create points. So therefore, the rank will be a lot lower.
Okay.
And I think therefore win rate will be a lot more important rather than playing a sick ton of matches.
Right, so you're saying now, like, if you're gonna play like an average equal rating match over the course of your 30 wings and you go 50% win rate, you're not gonna see really a net gain. Whereas before, you could kind of see a net gain if you're over that 50% around 50% mark because you get that extra +1, right? Is what you're saying. So it's much more important now to win and player matches and win those matches in order to propel.
Shouldn't G3 still be able to farm like G1s like no tomorrow?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I see them. You could still lose 10 points. So G1 would steal the 10
G3
points.
versus G1 is what 9-4. So you need a
10
like
to
a
4,
70%
10 to 4.
win rate to
70% win rate to
just be
gain.
positive.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like it makes it harder now for the top players, right? Because now you don't get that little threshold. You need to make sure your win rate is actually high. You can't have those bad days because you're gonna go down. You're not gonna be able to see it going even.
It's still 1900 at the because the Guardian to beat G3 you need to be 1900. So
Yeah, but that's gonna fluctuate at some point.
yeah.
That's interesting. So it looks like Comptos took like 2 really big ideas about, RTA changes that we were interested about, right? The point system, kind of, and the violent proc, obviously, system. So it's very interesting to see how these 2 are going to get implemented. So you were saying something about the walls. So there's no walls anymore.
They reverted the points back to how they were before, except you didn't lose like 17, 20 points.
So the amount of gain is
that
lost.
makes sense.
Ah.
So, yeah, because remember back then you'd lose 20 points to fake memory because he decided to climb 3 weeks late than other people.
And you win +1 or +2. I've even seen Tomato win +0.
What?
No, I always gain +1, but if you lost,
there
you
were
get
actually
0. You get
matches-
0 point. Yeah, you get
There
0
were
point
actually
loss.
matches where he got +0, like way back in like season 2 or 3.
Back then,
Oh.
there was a point where it was like +1 for a win, -19 for a loss.
Yeah, you win
I
all
remember
your
that.
games the whole day in one match. One
Yeah,
fight,
you lose it all in one
man.
match because of one proc.
You know,
I'd be throwing shit, man.
It's funny you guys say that. There's like the majority of the players right now who play RTA. They're like, what do you mean? I get +15 and +20 right now. I'm in fighter and challenger. Wait, what are you guys talking about? We're talking about in the Guardian range though. You're losing like 20 points, dude.
You know, with this change though, it still kind of goes back to you don't want to fight C2s and C3s as a G3 player.
No, it's kind of like in between. Like it's not as bad as the old system that is like that big a gap, but there's still a decent gap.
They took the
It's
best
still-
of
it's
both
still,
of them,
like-
I guess, kind of like best of
Yeah,
both
there's no
ideas.
cap.
You
At
take
least there's a
14
cap to it,
points.
right? You know how much you lose max.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's huge, dude.
So what is this about the wall thing? So 1900, there's no longer this weird wall. It depends. So the wall moves with the ranks then, basically,
Yes.
is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, the walls are the
Mm.
ranks now instead of which, if
Yep.
you think about it, kind of makes sense because
Lots
that
smarter.
1900 wall, the easiest was for like people like me to wait for all the G1s to hit 1900, then you
Yeah.
farm the fuck out of them. Because the win
That's
rate
the
is
thing,
so much
like, I
higher
want
than
to be
theirs,
ranked
right?
against people just
Yeah.
above
So you
1900
wait a
and
little
just
bit.
farm.
Yeah.
You wait a little bit, and then you boost yourself to like 2,000 or like 2,100, and then you just wait a little bit again.
I
Yeah,
never
so-
understood that wall though. Like I don't know why they
No.
arbitrarily just put like a 1900 and a 1400 wall.
They
So
prob-
those walls existed before there was the guaranteed point boost, where you would lose, or the minimum you could gain was gain 4, lose 3.
Yeah.
So back then, like in the days where you could lose like 20 points and shit like that, those walls kind of made more sense because they were like around the ranks that people were. So like 1900 wall was usually around like G2 ish, and then like a little bit higher. So if you were good enough, you know, the wall kind of made sense, even if it was super frustrating. But nowadays, because they implemented the point inflation, you can climb way past 1900, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
one guy was
1900
sitting at
was super high.
5,500 points.
Man, the
Exactly.
wall was so toxic though, but hey, in reality though, hey, did you not enjoy being at 1,899 points and queuing up? You know, I just that feeling of queuing up, you're like, I'm gonna fuck this guy, dude, that I'm about to like queue up to.
I actually love. There was a lot of times like last season.
Yeah.
I was just hovering at.
Yeah,
like,
you're hovering for a while, right?
1890. I was just
It's
like,
so
oh,
much
yeah,
fun,
because-
dude.
because I didn't care. Like
I've queued a lot of like high G3 players at 18 something before. It's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screw them over, but yeah, that's
I
toxic
stayed
though.
there just to troll. Josh did it too. He fucked Cooney. You fucked Les multiple times this season.
All right, so I also see Stoke in chat, and Stoke is saying this coming RTA season is counting towards SWC already. So
Probably.
that's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they're gonna start
Season.
factoring in this season and probably the next season for RTA already, right? It's 2 seasons
yeah.
they usually factor in, right?
yeah,
So
You
first
mean
of the year and the
SWC?
second one.
yeah, exactly. So this would be interesting. New changes. It kind of changes the dynamic of how you climb, changes the dynamics of how your games are gonna be played, and it's counting for SWC. So pressure's on. The pressure's definitely on.
Kind of SWC, they haven't said it yet, so we
Probably.
it probably is. We
Yeah.
just don't know.
Last year
Probably
was
is.
2 seasons as well. Last year they counted both
Yeah.
seasons as well. They
Yeah.
they kind of like even it or average it out or something like that. So keep that in mind. So everybody's tryharding, but maybe not at the beginning of the season though. But everybody's definitely
I can guarantee you,
tryharding.
Josh is not tryharding.
he's gonna be testing some stuff. I
He'll
can't
do
wait to see
some dumb
that.
stuff as usual.
Can't wait to see that. And plus, some of you guys are interested to see what you call Fate Man. I actually got a surprise. He's gonna be on the Friday night podcast, the bonus podcast that we're having this Friday. So,
Hey, we can swap it. I go to his house on Friday.
or he
Oh,
could
no.
just come back to your house and sit where you're sitting.
That is true. But
Technically.
wait, what time is the podcast on Friday?
Yeah. Anyways,
I see a troll.
so looks like they made some implementations and changes to the point system and the rankings, which is nice. This is what we've been wanting, right? It's going to be good to see that in place. The thing that they still have yet to address, which they haven't responded to though, is the matchmaking though. So we're going to see some, since now the ranks is going to be where the walls is, we're still going to be experiencing some unfortunate matchmakings because people that are below or above you, you're going to get this weird matchmaking point system interaction. So we're definitely gonna have to deal with that this season still with the matchmaking. Do you think it's better or worse now though with the matchmaking? Now that the wall is everywhere, every rank, right? Is that better or worse with the
I
current
don't think
matchmaking?
it's gonna change much, because you've seen like G3s match up with C2s, so
Right.
it's just I don't think it really
Yeah.
matters.
Like winning streak and losing streak is too dominant on the matchmaking.
But like what I was saying was right because we know there was a 1900 wall, right? So you know you're above 1900 and you're playing anybody below 1900, you're gonna get an issue, right? But now that the wall is moving, it's gonna kind of always kind of be there. Do you feel like you're gonna get matched up more often into players that are gonna be below that wall, right? You're G1 and it's C3, right? Instead of being at 1900 only now, and you were higher up and let's say like you had 3,000 points and you're matching with people obviously all over 1900. This wall is gonna keep moving, so you're gonna get this issue of these matches that you might get queue into and lose a lot of points because the wall is up there with you at 2,000, 3,000, whatever it is.
That wall though doesn't matter because it's all based off of the grade or the rank of the person, which is G2, G1, C3. So it doesn't matter if like right now G3 is at 2200 wall,
Mhm.
right? If I match up with a C2 and the C2 wall is at 1800, he's still gonna take 14 points from me if I lose to him. That's what I'm assuming. That's how it's gonna work because
Yeah.
right now, like even though the grade it says it's got G3 right before it was
Mm.
changed to 1700, now the victory points is 1900, but it's gonna shift because it's a G3. 1800 is for G2, but that'll be 2000. G3 will be 2100, and then C1's gonna be like 1800, but you're gonna fight C1s regardless of how big of a gap you are to them, right? Because
Right.
there's a possibility you could queue up with them. I don't know if you can actually queue up with C1s. I've actually never seen a G1 fight a C1 or a fighter 3.
I've seen a
I don't
C2.
think so.
I've seen C2
You can't
before, I think.
G3 can't actually queue to C2. C3
Really?
is possible.
Oh, G3.
C3 is possible. I know that, but we're not with
C3
G1.
G3 is possible. C2 I never had.
Trust me, as a
Okay,
G3, I know. Fuck.
It's
I've lost
possible.
to them
It's
many
possible.
times.
It's gonna be a G3 player that has never done RTA, that is ranking up from 1,000 points and is on a 50 fat win streak versus a G3. That's like the only possibility I can see that queuing
No,
up, dude.
It,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah,
probably be possible.
Right.
I
Highly
think it's
unlikely
rare,
though.
But G3, I've seen, yeah, like just someone said, like I've seen a G3 fight a C2 before, like in the replays.
It just has to be a fat win streak though. So some guy who's just
Yeah.
haven't played in a while. It's
But
very
then
rare.
It's like probably a winning streak and also a losing streak.
Right.
Yeah.
That will make it more
Yeah,
likely.
it's
True.
both, right? But I've
True.
had where I didn't even have a losing streak, and I fucking queue into a C3 as a G3, and it sucks.
You just
I've
lose
lost-
too much in
I
general.
lost to that piece of shit. It happens. It's okay.
Also, every single time I've seen the C2, well, I remember
Just don't
watching the
lose.
replays, the G3 always
Oh.
loses to the C2.
Yeah.
Unlucky streak. That's what I'm. What
Well,
it is.
actually,
It happens, right?
if you actually see
Yeah.
a C2 versus a G3, that match actually is always in favor of the C2 because he has the fat win streak right now. He's obviously probably decent at the game. He's not a real C2, right? So he's gonna be able to pull some stuff out that can potentially beat that G3, right?
That
He's probably
person
on a
is
fat win
also
streak.
Josh climbing for fun.
Yeah.
No,
That's what it is.
Josh in the last 2 weeks.
I've seen him tank just so that he can climb again. Like,
Okay.
you know, because I do hang out with Josh quite often. And we do our wings, we sit down and chat, and that's why we usually sit down and talk about Summer's War, right?
Right.
And you see him drop, do dumb shit, come back and climb and like clap like all these G3 players and go back down again and do it again.
Can you imagine that you're a G3 and then you match up and it says C2 and you're like, oh shit, and then it says
He did
C2
the last,
Fate
like,
Mem.
3
You're like,
times
oh
this season.
shit.
No. It's when Josh drops to like C2, climbs to C3, and pulls a G3 and goes, "Thanks for the 20." And that guy drops like 40 ranks in one match.
Oh my god,
No,
Tox.
I think you didn't even lose to Les this season, right? No, yeah, I remember like watching him just stand there. Me and TC were like standing there like, oh, bye, Les. Poor guy.
Okay, so we've gone through two main points of the developer's note now. Point number 3 that I want to talk about, probably the last thing of this dev notes, is the runing, right? So apparently, I don't know exactly how this works. Let me
Yes.
know. You know, Siege Malicious is so excited. Guild
Oh,
members
man.
are so excited.
This
But
is the best thing.
so runes are now gonna be separate. RTA runed units will stay for RTA only. Those units that you rune in RTA will be like that. So if you rune a 300 speed Hathor, those runes that you put there will just be for RTA. Now, for every other content of the game, apparently, you can use those runes and rune whatever you want. You can have your 300 speed Ramagos while still having your 300 speed Violent Hathor for RTA. What do you think these implications will be? Yeah, how will this affect the game?
I think Siege is gonna be toxic as fuck now because you're gonna have people like Tiger gonna be able to root or make it a bud obviously in malicious, able to rune up 112, 113 efficiency defenses, and you know we're not gonna be able to beat a lot of those. So that's gonna be interesting. I think Mally's
it's
super
only
happy
like
right
a
now.
very,
Top tier
very
Siege is
high
gonna suck again.
It's only like the top 0.1% of the guilds that
Oh,
actually
this-
have like players that purely focus RTA, have all their runes on RTA units, and
I mean,
think it's just
even the lower
very
ranks,
high-end.
the lower ranks, respective to their ranks, right? C3s are fighters. Maybe they care about RTAs. They gave a lot of the good runes to their Aegers or their Trianas and the like, or whatnot, and or whatever units that you can't use in Siege. Sure, Aeger and Triana you can use in Siege, but units that they don't really use in Siege or Guild Wars, and now they can move those runes over, right?
True.
So
I think it's gonna make
a factor.
Siege more competitive in general. I'm actually interested in looking for a new Siege guild now because of this. Like, I can actually have units runed up for that, right? So it is an interesting thing. I think it's gonna be fun for a bit as well for now. And there's gonna be some interesting defenses out there because we're able to use some units that we never got to use because we solely used it for.
oh my
RTA
god, that's so
before,
true.
right?
Siege farmers can ruin their units so strong now. Oh my god, that's so toxic.
Siege farmers already ruin their defense.
Yeah,
as well.
but the good siege farmers, they actually do RTAs as well, right? I mean,
You know what I
so
did?
Yeah, most
I read up one
most siege
defense.
farmers farm siege like me
And then I
because
cleared,
I focus
the
all my
tower, I
units
just put my one
on
defense
RTA.
there, and they couldn't clear it.
just one man
Yeah, so-
defense.
So Josh built a defense yesterday. Thought it would be funny to put in the tower one defense, nothing. The whole guild couldn't clear it. Like you have assholes like this.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I
I
mean,
think
it's great. Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
I think Congress does need to award people who are in higher ranks siege more than ever now because people are gonna be more invested. Then you have fucking assholes like this that would finally leave G1. Think about this.
You would need to put in so much reward for him to change the amount of effort he puts into it.
Of course.
Because Josh can just go to G1 Siege and put no effort in. Why would he go to G3 even if the rewards are better?
Yeah, so they have to make either not just rewards, but they have to balance it basically, right? That's what they need to do. And they've tried already, and I'll be honest, I'm in a fucking farming guild right now. I'm getting 1,000-something guild points without doing anything per 2 days, right? Obviously I'm not
You don't even need to attack. You just have defenses that win.
Yeah, I'm
And you
sitting
do
there.
fine.
That's
Yeah, so
crazy.
that's why I'm like, they need to actually make it worthwhile. The crystals is what, like 350 crystals, but I get 1,000 guild points. That's a lot of scrolls. I can buy out the shop every time. So maybe if they buff crystals and GP in G3 Siege or whatever, it'll change a bit. Because right now it's not worth it.
It's crazy though. I mean, just thinking about it now, whatever you ruin for RTA stays there. You can ruin some nut PvE teams for fun. Doesn't that like spark your interest? Like, oh, how good can I ruin my unit for dragons now or whatever? You know what I mean? Because you don't care.
But now you can have that one random unit in RTA on Rage
No, I
Will,
told
just
you,
because.
Making a bud is gonna have a 190 violent
Chris.
bomb, and you're gonna sit there like, the fuck just happened?
Now we can actually want to make Bud, Chris, make actually siege defenses. I have like, I have
You
like
have to
four.
do it.
Yeah, I have four of like 110% violence sets that I never use in RTA. It's because it's on like Shayna or something.
Exactly. So it's on your defenses and shit, right? So now that's why it's gonna be super toxic. All the top guilds are. It's basically a bloodbath, I would say, especially guilds who have like RTA focused unit players. So Swag's gonna be super strong as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not saying just Mally, but like other top guilds who just and there's a lot of people who just do RTA, right? That
There's
don't
there's
give a
kind of
shit about-
two things that I think are kind of important to bring up in terms of like the value of this change.
Okay.
On one side, the positive value for this change is that it will encourage players to do more content, meaning they have the opportunity to rune for RTA and something else, or everything maybe. You know what I mean? You don't have to choose between different pieces of content. You don't have to limit yourself now. So that's good because weaker players who have less rune depth are able to play RTA maybe. More players playing RTA is always good. However, the downside to that is that this is an inherent buff to fastest sets again, where speed again becomes stronger because you never have to split up your fastest sets anymore between RTA and other content. So now you're in a position where having insane violent sets in your Guild Wars can be different from your insane violent sets in RTA. So like if you have your 290 Violent Will Hathor, that can be some crazy ridiculous like 290 whatever
Oh my
in
God, you just
Siege,
reminded me.
or
Yeah.
you can have like 3 260 sets or something. So speed inherently gets stronger again, which
Like,
is kind of the lesser of two evils, I guess, to encourage people to play more content overall.
I
But
spoke to
will that
someone
backfire is the question.
recently, and they're like, yeah, if you use these runes that you have on like RTA units, you're gonna be able to build a Shayna Martina tower with a 185, 187 Martina, right? And that's fucking nuts on Vile Will and something like that. Before I would only put a 160 set that's spare for fun, right, on it. But now it's actually super toxic. So
And now it's unbeatable in G1 Siege. Literally unbeatable in G1 Siege.
I wish I could be
Yeah.
in G1 Siege with some of the defenses I got.
I mean, just imagine all the fat units getting fatter. Like, I mean, people are gonna make like beefy like Kumars and beefy retouches, beefy Jeans, fast Jeans, right? I mean, I saw a couple people do some
Copper
fast Jeans as well.
Dozer will die again.
no man, it's all
Yeah.
about beefy Shazam. I got this, guys. It's finally my turn.
Even Tyler reminded me I could fucking use my two. So I have 300 speeds Swift sets,
Oh,
and
okay.
I don't I don't use them for RTA. That's
Okay.
Now I can. It's not a subtle brag. I'm just
I
you
know,
can
I'm
have
just
two
kidding,
lords.
dude.
You can have a violent Lord and a swift Lord.
yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
it's not gonna ruin your arena or your Guild Wars offense or your siege, right? The fact that you can do both of those things now means maybe I want to do more content.
Hey, you guys.
also have to remember this: Violent is not nerfed in Siege.
Oh, yeah,
gonna
it's still
throw a
same.
fucking fool.
Yeah.
So say,
Violent is
Hey!
gonna be worse in siege.
now you guys can ruin your Molongs like you did in 2018. Yeah, you guys.
What,
Not me
triple
though.
not Brian?
Yeah, you fucker. Yeah, so I mean, you can put some crazy Vile sets now. It's gonna be nuts, right? And then we know units that Vile proc in Siege is already crazy. So you're gonna see these same sieges with like the rune depth that you're gonna see in Siege is gonna be crazy now too. Because all the best runes, you're gonna start with the best now to your Siege runes, right?
You just need to realize you have to make your offense a little better. I've always tell people if you're losing because of one violent proc against someone's defense, then
Right.
it's not because the violent is too strong. It's because your offense is not good enough.
It's because you didn't prepare. You didn't
Yeah.
prepare properly. You should always assume every unit will proc once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
also,
twice.
you
Actually,
gotta
prepare for
remember
two procs is probably best. Obviously, like if someone's procced against if the defense procs like 5 times in a row, you could blame that for sure.
Yeah,
But
chalk it up and
losing-
go to the next.
Because people always have this like what is it called cognitive dissonance when something bad happens, it's always
Yeah, always
bad.
remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
how it
yeah.
works.
I actually watched a streamer, I'm not gonna say who, do Guild War recently, and they're like, oh, this unit procs a lot, but after I watched the replay, it just got napped. It happens.
You watch this streamer that did go. Okay, let's all figure out who it is. Anybody else trying to figure out who
Lucky
it is?
Summers will have a lot of streamers nowadays.
You're Brian.
It was me. It was me.
And the person's like, oh, I'm getting procced a lot, but it's actually just getting lapped over and over again. It happens.
It does happen, especially with fast units.
Yeah, I've seen it. Like, especially, like I said, I'm in G1 Siege now. Shit, man. I think people think my defense are actually procking, but it's all on Swift.
So how do you guys think they're gonna have they implement this new change? Do you think they're just gonna keep our rune box how it is already, and now they made like a new runing thing, and we have to go rerun all our units now we want to use for RTA in that place? I think that's how it's gonna be.
I think right now, these units that are already ruined right now, as of right now, will be your main units. And there's going to be like, if probably like here, you go like RTA or whatever, and then there's maybe a rune management inventory, and those are the units that are going to be on rune.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's what I would assume.
Okay. Here's
Right.
the real
It
question.
makes
though.
sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's the
Does
real
make sense.
question. Is it gonna cost mana to move your RTA route?
Probably. Yep.
I got 290 million. I'm fine.
And that's the reason.
Whoa.
That's the reason.
How do you never use your mana?
That's
Oh,
because
man.
they don't do shop
I'm
refreshes.
reruning all the freaking time. That's what I use my mana for.
Hey, Tyler,
I
for
would
30
do that
bucks
all the
for
time,
this package, you can get it too. 30 bucks only. That's all you need.
I don't spend on mobile games at all anymore, Joe. I'm done.
What?
I don't even buy daily pack 1, dude.
Whoa, that means you don't farm.
I only do BJ5 with whatever energy I
How can you
have.
afford to do BJ5? How many do you do?
I only
does
play
3 a
like 2
day.
hours a day at max.
That's how long you last? Oh, that came out wrong.
Well, I had like 30 something thousand crystals saved for the last.
Because I actually averaged losing 1,000 to 1,500 crystals in.
Wait, you
Oh,
don't
take your
spend in
D5.
mobile games anymore?
Hmm?
Why the fuck are you here? Wait, I gotta remove this guy. What the fucking how do I remove this shit from the fucking call?
I don't need.
Bye!
I don't need to spend.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
Like I said, I average 1,000 crystals a day right now.
It's very enlightening to see the different perspective of your progression when you spend a lot and then you don't spend anything. Right? Like it's very different where you make improvements and you notice where like you will not make improvements.
Yep.
Like imagine if I had done this before like KB5 or BJ5 came out, like getting gems would be impossible unless I bought immemorial packs, right? Because it's so slow and so tedious. Right? Getting runes, you need rune packs and re-ups. Finding the rune is fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Getting the re-ups, you get 3 a week. It's impossible.
Honestly, the only pack you need to get is rehabs.
Yes. Well,
I
not
agree.
necessarily true.
Well, I mean-
For us,
Oh.
yes.
Exactly what you're saying though, Tyler. It's the same for my account, dude. I mean, I only buy packs in once in a while to do summons, but it's only the big ones, right? Like Transcendent and stuff. I don't buy re-apps every month, and I haven't. I think I only did it one time since the release of re-apps. So I mean, to see how much people have progressed through it is crazy, but also, I mean, just being able to progress without those is interesting as well. Yeah, where my runes line up compared to like other people's crazy runes that they got. So it's interesting.
I'll be honest, and I'm pretty transparent about this on my stream. Is that I buy 100% all re-app packs, and that is a guarantee. That's a must for me. Anything else, it really doesn't matter to me. But re-app packs, I do need it.
But the crazy thing to think about is that if I pull a ragdoll, I could actually jump to G3, I think. And that sounds ridiculous to me.
Currently, probably not. Like, I've been like doing some RTAs for like lower people accounts, and
but the thing is, like, I can play in like the 400, 500 range.
Ha, lower player accounts. That's you.
So like,
okay, laugh.
So like, if I just get a ragdoll, then I'm pretty sure I'll be able to jump that distance.
Yeah, okay. The distance is not that far, but because you already have a decent account. But I've been playing on some like lower accounts, especially in like rune quality, and they've like ragdoll Artemil, and they just get wrecked.
No, but they already have ragdoll Artemil. That's the difference.
So are you saying nerf ragdoll?
True.
Nerf ragdoll.
I just read chat and True.
He just smiled with a winky face.
I just saw it.
You're the ace.
But I'll give you guys one example as well of what Tyler said. I think it's actually true. We do have a player here in Hawaii. He changed his name recently though, but it used to be Defa, and his account was like okay G2 level, like runes and kind of units, no LD Nat 5. Summoned a Gianna last season. Actually, used the Gianna, rank 34, from Hawaii, rank 34. His name's Zefarius now. You probably queued into him.
Units are gonna help, okay? Units are gonna help, but at the end of the day,
No, he did about the same. He did about the same. But just getting that Gianna gave him the opportunities to propel and get even further. So I think with Ragdoll, it's definitely possible as well.
So the comparison I was trying to make, is
right 34, dude.
Because I no longer spend, finding rune upgrades is extremely unlikely, right? Because I have to roll high triples or like actual legend quality runes every single time. Because re-apps aren't really an option. So the competing aspect of that is like impossible. So the big jump is going to be if I either get super lucky with a quad roll or some crazy high efficiency build, which is unlikely with 12 re-apps versus 62 in a month, or I have to get crazy lucky with an LD.
Unless you or Josh, every 50 re-apps you get 9 runes.
But then again,
that's like unheard of though.
Yeah,
right?
it's stupid.
I thought so too, but every fucking month after month after month he's doing it.
Hacks.
Yesterday I was happy with a 22 speed quad roll. I was sitting there like, oh, I'm super happy with my fucking quad roll.
Wait, did Josh not tell you why, Jeff? That's been happening to him. It's because Comtua saw how shitty his luck was in the tournament, so they had to compensate him with re-ups these last couple of months since the tournament.
Because they're not gonna give him an LD Nat 5, so they decided to give him runes and stuff. They're like, here, you can play the game and have fun. You're not allowed to have an LD.
Oh yeah, Josh still doesn't have an LD.
Yeah.
We all give him a spare one and we'll be okay, right? Billy?
Wait, all of you have 2?
I'm 4.
I have 3.
I have 5.
Right? How many do you have?
1.
Billy and I summoned the LD Nat 5 beside each other together.
Yeah, at the what is that? New York.
That was actually nuts. We didn't want either of them, but it's still pretty cool.
I only used
Grogan and Han, right?
Grogan was me, Han was Jeff.
Yeah.
And then what? Like next week later, I had a random LD scroll and then I just got Geldnir.
Hey, well, I did summon I did summon 74. I summoned 74 LD Nat 5s last year. So that's something. Just not on my account.
Okay.
Just
yeah,
not my
exactly. But you can't. How many Molongs did you summon last year?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Moving on. I'm actually counting. I'm counting this year. We've summoned 5 so far. I'm gonna count until I get mine from this year. Yeah, how long until I get mine? How many I will summon Molongs? Anyways, back to the topic again then. So this should be very interesting, right? Being able to rune our units for RTA. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I love it. I can finally
go ahead.
do stuff without having to, like worry about oh, my defense, because I focus more on my defenses for sure.
Right, and I think it kind of addresses the issue before of, you know, how we always said, hey, when I go into RTA on a different device or something like that, it's like all weird. I can't find my monsters I want to use. Now being able to rune it, we don't know how this UI is going to look, but hopefully it does make and ease that as well. When you're doing RTAs, you have that box of units that you want to use for RTA, right?
Ooh, that would be so nice. I
One
haven't
thing
even thought of that.
Sorry, I wanted to say is me and Josh talked about this. You know what we'd be really happy about is that if you rune your units on RTA build, when they visit your island to try to steal your JSON, it does not pull the RTA build.
Oh, they cannot see your RTA rune units ever.
Okay,
We hope.
but-
We don't know.
But some people would have rather it the other way around, right? Some siege people would be like, I don't want anyone to see my siege units. So
Then put them in storage.
maybe just you can't get friend island JSONs at all would be perfectly fine with me.
That would
Okay,
be
then I'm
fine
deleting
for
all
me
you
as well.
fucks off my friend list then. That's the way to do it then.
No, but
Doesn't
seriously, like
matter,
I think as long as
doesn't
you put,
matter. You can
as
scan
long as you
anyone
put things in
anywhere
storage, you're fine.
as long as you're in a guild. If you're in a guild, the bot
Looks
from
like I'm leaving
God's
my
Arm
guild,
can always
guys.
scan you. Yeah,
Damn.
leave the guild. That's probably the only option.
No, but
Well, no, then
if
can
you
do it
storage
by
your
just the
units,
ID.
you can't grab them off of friend
No.
visits anymore. You can only grab what's on the island.
Yeah, people already hide, like Siege players already hide their units in storage. They don't leave it
You know
out.
how annoying it is to draft through your fucking box?
I mean, now we have decks.
Literally the worst thing in the world.
Yana fucking in there every day, right?
Yeah.
Man, I've been playing like 1,000 matches from storage. It's a pain in the ass.
What is your most wanted JSON file? I have one in my mind.
What's my most wanted JSON file?
Yeah, from who? If you could choose one. I want Thompson's one, dude. I need to see
I
everything.
don't want to see doggies. I want to see everything. His death down to the very bottom of it.
No, I need to see Thompson's, dude. Like, just looking at the units that, like, because I did RTAs when we were in Orlando, dude, and I was like going through his units. You can pick anything, dude. Like, you just open up the storage and everything has a front runes, dude.
I wanna see Pokemangos. I wanna see
You want to see
Pokemangos.
Pokemangos? You want to see tolerance
Oh.
sets.
No, but I want to
Dude.
see how many tolerance sets he has that are
Right.
good.
And where he places
I mean,
them.
It's how many React packs he bought and invested all in those
Like
fucking
he might
runes.
have
Yeah.
he might have some really sick nasty tolerance runes in
No,
there.
he does. Haven't you seen his
He does.
tolerance
I've
runes?
only, I've only
It's
seen a couple
actually
of them.
fucking nuts.
I've only seen a couple of them, but I want to know all of it. I want to know all of it because it would be different. It would be cool.
You mean the ones that he fucked up on is like 102 efficiency? Oh, I should keep these too.
You know what you should do? You should be, instead of tolerance man, you should be accuracy man. Then no longer you have to worry about accuracy for any of your units.
Me and Josh already talked about the accuracy counter. We talked about this like a year ago. We're like, to counter him, we're gonna ruin accuracy. And it's just a coin flip, right?
But it's good though, when you ruin accuracy, because now all your units that, you know, like the Sierra, you don't have to ruin accuracy for it.
Oh, yeah.
Accuracy
You know what
is
he said?
inherently better than
Accuracy, you're still ahead.
Right. But not having to ruin your unit on accuracy gives you a space for more speed and stats. So
That's true.
it can be pretty fat, dude. It can be actually pretty fat. So,
Sierra will love them dots for days. True chat, I can't take the credit for that one, but that one was good.
You know, if we go back to about the resistance and we're going serious about it, it's like I want to see actual changes in terms
Like
of
stats and like how it actually works, like
Yeah.
understanding of it.
because after like sitting down thinking about it, like how honestly accuracy is just way better than resistance in general. Obviously, if your monster doesn't have any accuracy and there's 100% monster, you're never gonna land anything, right? But
Yeah, it's impossible.
85 accuracy is just inherently better than 85 resistance. 85 resistance just means nothing when someone's ruined with 85 accuracy, right?
right.
It
But
just negates it completely.
But thinking about the other end as well, the reason why you have like 85 resistance or 100 resist, because the unit that you have doesn't need that accuracy, and you can you know beef up your stats and give yourself a better chance by having resistance, right? Because you don't need a crazy amount of stats.
Yeah,
like,
but that goes back
so
to what
That's why
Jeff
we
and
have base 15 resist though. Like, did
Yeah.
base 15 resist exist as a stat?
That's why
right? That's
Nerfs
why it
needs a
doesn't-
nerf.
Oh, that's why Neff just needs a nerf, he says. Which
Yeah.
makes sense, right? It's those units that fuck you, right?
Nephthys
Oh.
is so good, dude. Nephthys is
Yeah,
so good,
You take all this
dude.
speed, it's really fucking good.
You just pick two strippers at tops as like I just pick like Gianna. I couldn't even pick Laura, dude. I just use Nephthys. You just win. You just don't lose,
It's the
dude.
thing that he has Gianna to remember this.
Yeah. That's why. It's a really good stripper. That's why. So, but it's so good, dude. You just don't miss.
More people like Sai has to use units like Tiana, not Gianna.
No, he is very fast though,
Hey.
so he can do
I
something
use
like
both, no problem.
Oh, we don't have Nefties though. We're talking about.
that. Yeah, you need that Nefties, dude.
Yeah, Nefties
I
is
just pull
actually
a Wind Beast Rider. It's almost the same.
Ah,
Savannah, right? The win one.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you AoE strip Savannah, shit's gonna die.
Well,
Hey,
Wizards
I
isn't
saw-
alive because everyone has accuracy. That's
I saw people testing out the dark Beast Rider. Oh my god, dude, that thing hits hard, and the attack bar reduction is pretty consistent. That's not bad as well. Yeah, to set up for that. I haven't really seen people try it out. I mean, people use it in high levels though, of RTA, but it seems interesting. It's
Who
very
has it,
interesting.
though?
Some
actually has
low level accounts. I just saw it.
Wait, Dark
Yeah.
Beast Rider?
Yeah,
The only
No, how to play has it?
yeah, but I haven't seen him use it.
Oh, it's the white one. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
The
yeah.
white
I'm
one.
talking about the dark one.
Yeah, the
Watch,
dark
how to
one.
play has it next week when all these come back.
Oh my god.
Right?
Anything else in this developer's note that we didn't get to cover? Seishi, is there anything else for those? Those are like the three main topics, I would say.
I can cover what I think is missing.
Yeah.
Because we covered the
slots?
topics. I think the main two things to, especially like these changes, are to make RTA more interesting, both for us now, but also for other players to start playing RTA. Like Siege people focusing on Siege can now RTA.
Hmm.
But
Well,
lower
also
play-
players can do that. Same thing.
lower players kind of still miss is like one is rewards and two is probably matchmaking. Because rewards meant 3
Yes,
transcendent
yeah.
stones. Come on, just give 100. The season is long enough.
You mean
that goes back to-
transmog stones, not transcendent
Yeah,
stones.
the transmog stones.
But
like,
transcendent stones
just-
would be very interesting. I'd like to see.
No, stop! Abort!
I wouldn't
Abort the
mind. I
mission.
wouldn't mind.
Transcendent
I
stone.
wouldn't mind. But they don't want to
I'm-
make RTA mandatory, so they probably won't put any other rewards than just cosmetics in there. But it could still be more. Come on, 2, 3 for a season of 3 months.
No, they really need to give
I think they can-
award people for doing RTA that is even at like top or fighter
Give
levels. Right?
100 stones for doing your placements.
Do you think milestones for number of wings completed would be like if you complete 30 wings, you get this many transmog?
But they
stones.
need to set a
Oh,
If you
rule.
yeah.
complete this many wings, you get this many.
No, but they
transmog
have
stones.
to make sure they implement something that doesn't allow you to quit the match quickly.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Yeah,
quitting,
that's the only
immediately
issue.
quitting the
How about this?
match inflates
Every-
the pool to a
every
point where it's
15
actually feels
wins.
comfortable.
You get a couple
Yeah,
stones.
that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like,
'Cause
like,
you
give
are-
a reward for something small. Like give a small reward for a small amount of wins, so it doesn't feel that bad to do mandatory. Like 3 RTA matches, and then you get something small.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Put it in the daily. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
bad. Put it just in dailies.
No, weekly.
No,
I've been pushing for
no,
weekly and
okay,
monthly
sure.
rewards.
Weekly, yeah.
Weekly and monthly
rewards.
rewards would be cool to
Yeah.
start.
How about there's a battle pass? Oh wait.
We could. I mean, we could.
I'm in.
I would.
This goes
I
back
would
to-
consider spending for a cosmetic battle pass. If it
Yeah,
was
I'm
like
okay with
you
that.
get transmogs for battle pass, I'd probably consider spending again.
I want battle pass with emotes of fucking IslandGrown.
Pog!
I need my island W in check, guys.
Yeah, that would be really cool if they did something like that and they incorporate, some of our content creators' ideas and stuff. I mean, this is kind of like Fortnite. I think Ninja just got a new skin in the
just got
game
a nice
finally,
emote.
right? But that would be interesting. Actually, or like the SWC contestants, right? It would be interesting to see things like
Yeah.
that put into there. Emotes, right? I mean, we've been asking for emotes in like RTA. I mean, E7 has
I
it.
just
Just
want
saying.
to BM people, right? Even if I don't win,
Right.
I want to beat them their ass.
It doesn't have to be custom emotes where it's like, oh, you can type or say whatever you want, but like a set amount of emotes that you can collect and use, right? And they can be
Yeah,
kind
I'll
of
send
BM-ish.
YDCB's face across. the
Just like
phone.
E7,
Jeff,
I
Jeff,
gotta.
why you gotta
I
be
just
so
gotta stick my
toxic?
tongue out at people.
Mm-hmm.
Why you gotta be so toxic, Jeff?
Whoa, what do you mean? If I can't win, at least I can be toxic, right?
Oh man, I can see.
But at least just even a high five or something like that, just to say hi to some of the people you know. Like
Right.
if I can't do
Yeah.
this, I can at least say hi.
What about this? Make your monsters actually high five each other within the match.
That's a lot of drawing
That's-
though.
That's a lot of
a
work.
lot
But
of
it's a cool
work.
concept though. It's a cool concept.
If they could do shit like that, like you can emote some of your units, that'd be pretty fucking
Just
cool.
need
I'll
some
pay money
basic
for it.
ones, man. I just want like if I get matched up with Jeff or something, I want to pop some emotes. You know what I mean? Like like just
Exactly, right?
spam it up, have some fun with it. That's what I want.
I need a question mark emote. You just spam question marks at people. Every time they make
Yes.
a move, even if it's the right move, you just hit question marks. You try to
I
tilt
would
them
do
as hard
that.
as
I
you
would do
can.
that.
I mean,
I would
it's
do
like-
that.
It's
it's
the
like-
ultimate mind game.
Yeah,
When
it's
they're
like,
like, okay, do I kill this unit or this unit? You just hit question marks over and over and over as fast as possible.
and the internet's already kind of toxic, right? But I don't think that's toxic, right? Having like question marks, it's fun, kind of like culture. I don't know. But the thing is that will the
It's
come to us, Korea office view it that way? That's the only thing,
Well,
right?
all you have to do is set an option so you can turn them on or off, right? So like
a
I can send
profanity
emotes.
filter that I've been asking
Yeah,
for
like
6
I
years.
can send emotes to you, and if you have it off, you just don't see them.
I just want to
I-
type Kumar in chat without being fucking blurred.
No, just mute the other player. Just like
Charlotte?
in Hearthstone.
You mean
Hearthstone,
Charlotte?
You can mute the player.
Yeah.
That would be a
It's
good idea.
2020. I still can't type Kumar in chat.
Yeah, they should do a little testing battle pass. You know? Yeah, you
I'm down.
do
Emotes in the
that.
battle pass.
Huh? What?
Put emotes in the battle pass.
That's what we're trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly,
That's what
exactly.
Dota does, right?
Emotes in the battle pass.
Think of
So
this.
good.
They use that money to fund SWC. Like Dota does. You know how much money
Yeah.
we'll fucking make?
Dude, that's like Dota. That's like TI.
That's what I'm trying to
You buy
say.
the TI
$30
money
fucking
goes-
pack.
Oh my. It's perfect, dude.
How are we giving other companies more ideas to make money?
Because it makes them stronger and
Because
keeps the game
cosmetics-
alive.
People like spending money on
I
cosmetics.
know.
I mean,
Like,
if
it's the best way to.
we want to give
cosmetic
them
ways to
okay,
make money is better because it doesn't inherently add more pay to win to a game.
right.
Which is
I
why
think
people
cosmetics is
like
the way to
spending
go.
money on games like Lane, where there's not really any PvP. You just spend money on cosmetics.
Yeah, there's
right?
no
That's a
way.
good
There's,
business model.
there's no way it can destroy the game, right? They should make like a skin that when you put it on a unit, it gets like 30 speed. I think that's a great idea. We could sell it for like $99.99, and
Oh, speaking of
They ruined Knights of Chronicle.
yeah,
Oh, is that what they did?
those games crashed because of that. They made
Yeah.
skins that had
Yeah.
stats, dude. No, you cannot
No,
do
no,
that,
no, no, no,
dude.
They had like an
Just
awakening
cosmetic.
bonus for like a skill on a skin you could only buy for like $15 or
You
something.
cannot do that,
If, you
dude.
know, if I can change Duran's skin into fucking YDCB's face, I'll put $200 in there, no problem. The $100 goes to YDCB, the extra 100 goes to come to us. I think that's a win-win. Duran into YDCB and his fucking rep is a fucking what's that, Drunken Master? I'm in. Or Randy.
Dude, I'm gonna get a Rauk and put YDCV's face on it.
Hey, wait, you know what? Wait,
Or
you know
just
what?
John Cena. Put
You know
John
what?
Cena's face right there.
What is, come to us, working with come to us for as long as I have myself, I know for a fact that, they've always tried to grow the community and grow content creators. Even last year they did like, Summoners Were Idle. They invited content creators out to events and whatnot. Doing a battle pass like this and having funds, and for them to say, hey, we're going to use these funds to, create more content creators and bring more content creators out and do more for the content creators, that would be big, right? And I don't think it would have to be specific, like revenue straight to us. I think that'd be a little bit harder to set up, but something directly that would go towards funds to, bring content creators to events and whatnot would be
Just
really
to
cool.
Make more events.
Yeah,
Really, honestly,
that
if they
too,
just had
more
to make
events.
That's super cool.
People would want that because there would
Yeah.
there would be more likely to have an event in whatever city they live in too.
Oh yeah.
Like if they live in a bigger city,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
let's like TOA had what 11 events?
No, less.
9?
I don't remember. But
Okay, regardless, like if they had a huge funding from the community and the game, they could push that to like 15 or like 12. 3 more events, 3 more cities is really good for PR. Bringing content creators is really good for PR. It's also really good for the growth of the game and the community.
Mhm.
And the company still makes money and the players are happier,
Yeah.
right?
Also,
Because
the
it's
events
an
could be better too.
optional microtransaction. It's
Right.
nothing where you feel left out if you don't get it because it doesn't change like your official like per se like gameplay, right? It's
No,
not like a
you
room
don't
pack
spend in
or
the
a
game
rehab
anymore,
pack where you
man.
miss it,
You're
you're like fuck.
No, you don't spend in the game anymore. If you don't buy this, you're a loser, bro.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
okay, so,
I would buy good cosmetics. I'll
like,
be
you
honest.
know,
Those-
Oh, so now we spending on gacha games again, okay? You see that? Only took us an hour and he already changed his mind.
Christmas, there were some gift cards. Okay, relax.
Only took an hour and he changed his mind again. Free to play for an hour, I see.
No, honestly though, like cosmetics are the things that I like buying in games because they make the experience of the game slightly different for me,
Right.
right?
So I actually suggest, because I did work with the SWTOA group and also talk to them a lot about it. I did talk to them. Why not for every place you go, like Vancouver, if you were there, you were able to buy a pack that has a Vancouver flag.
Nah, they
Something
would
like
give
that.
it away.
No.
They would give it away. I don't think they
No,
would
but-
sell it. They would give it away.
But you can make money and just it could recoup like 200 people, maybe 100 will buy it. It's a decent amount of money, $30, and all it comes with a flag and some crystals.
Wait,
no,
Jeff, isn't the Vancouver flag Canada flag?
yeah, you know what I mean. No. But
Wait, the British
SWTOA Vancouver flag.
The
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it would be pretty cool because every event you go to, you can buy a flag, but that's only limited to people that are at those events. It's cosmetic. It's nothing. It's nothing big, but it represents something, right? Like I was really happy in 2017 SWC finals. You were able to get a dragon that represented SWC final, right? But the next 2 years they did not fucking do it, which is dumb as shit. I think.
Yeah.
That code gave you a dragon and like 750 crystals, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crap.
It's the green one, right? The purple one was given for free, and the green one is the exclusive dragon. It's a jade flying dragon. I think.
Yeah.
It's this thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think why not do that? I think it's super dumb not to bring it in Korea because we got to go to Korea and then we also got to go to Paris this year. And the people who are there, it represents something, right? It represents that you've been there and I think it's dumb not to do it. I honestly think so. They just have to reskin the stupid dragon to the maybe like Paris colors or whatever, and it's done, right?
I would want that. Anything. Okay, for gotcha gamers, all of us, there is this little thing inside of us where if something is limited time offer, it's just like, I gotta have it, dude. Like, we'll never come back again. Oh shit, just take my left nut and my wallet right now. Like, fucking, what is it? Like, let me buy that.
You can have my first and second board. Just give me the limited thing.
What is a limited? I want to have it. I don't even care if it's not nice. I need it. Which is, you know. Oh, go ahead.
That's why I actually don't like the special. Like, I know probably gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I don't like
No.
the special league skins that you could buy. That's why I'm actually happy
I
it's
said the same
limited.
thing.
It's
Someone
limited
flamed
to
me
that.
on IslandGrown's, YouTube video after. Remember I talked about this. I'm like,
Someone flamed you
why-
on in the comment section or something?
Yeah, in the podcast. Because remember one of the podcasts I said it should not be it's limited, right? Why are you allowing people to buy it after? It's super dumb. I know. At the same time, I worked on Guardian. I really wanted it, but then people started just calling me a whale. I said, "Oh fuck it, I'm not gonna argue."
Yeah, it's that's. I think that's one of the reasons why they've been releasing it kind of slow. They slowed down on it. They might have, done that. But of course,
keep it like really limited.
yeah,
I
you have
heard
to
it
you have
from
to
the
think of it from
developers.
both players' perspective, right? Other players that play the game, they want to have it too, so they try to work towards it, and they're never gonna be Guardian, right? So they want a way to get it. So I guess Comptos is giving them an avenue or a way to get it, getting 3,000 special league points, which does take a while. It's a commitment. That takes about a year to get that, even if you do
Sure,
well.
let them buy
in
a
special league.
shittier version.
That would be cool.
Like,
Yeah,
like something like that, right?
yeah.
Just a shittier one.
I think in League of Legends.
There's have a little fucking shitty wings or something like that, right? There
Right.
are ways to do it where it won't piss us
Okay,
off, but we want it to be that exclusive, right? Because we
Right.
work hard for Guardian 1, 2, 3. You get the skin or whatever. And like I said, it's cosmetic, so you can't say it's not fair for other people not to get it, right? Because it is just cosmetic at the end of the day. It's not giving you extra stats or whatnot. That's how I feel at least about it. I've said this before, and
Yeah.
I got a lot of hate for it.
Yeah, true. People shouldn't be mad that they can't get it because at the end of the day, it doesn't give you stats. So you know, it's like you said, cosmetics. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Going back to cosmetics, so what about the new ones coming up?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that real
They're
quick as
so
well.
good.
Ileana
Dude,
is
so
so
good.
pretty. I really
Oh, I
like
actually
it.
haven't seen it.
You haven't seen them,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, you
They,
seen it? It's on
Do you
Reddit.
play this game anymore?
dude,
I haven't
it's
looked at the last couple. I've been really busy the last couple of days. I haven't looked at any updates.
I've been waiting for Lightning Emperor skins. I'm so
Since you pulled the light one?
disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
dude.
man.
Anybody else see the Phoenix in the back? The Phoenix just
Yeah.
chilling there in the back, dude. Like, what is that gonna look like? That's Gogo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go with the treasure chest.
So yeah.
Well, those
Yeah.
are pretty nice.
Oh, here we go. I don't spend it mobile games anymore. Hell, 1 hour later, he's fucking already looking at
Well, it doesn't
skins.
matter. I don't have an Odin, so who cares? Orbital. I don't have Odin or Volver.
I still don't like the Lightning Imps.
See,
I want to be.
The problem with the Lightning Emperors are, and the problem with some of the Phoenixes are, not all of them have animations. The ones we want,
that
right?
Galleon?
The one you're excited for is like
Yeah,
Perna,
Galleon
right?
has
But it
another
doesn't got the animations. The
Ooh,
one you're excited for is like
different.
Odin, right? But it doesn't really have animations. So it's gonna be more the 3D
You know
models
what's gonna
for
be
these.
interesting? How about the Bale will desync your BG5?
Classic.
Oh,
Because some people has it, some people don't.
Oh no,
It
dude.
can happen. We had it with Katarina skins when we
Don't
did the
use
one-shot
the
Katarina
Belager
team.
skin, guys. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
in before it's faster, and everyone gets faster clear time now. Who has the skin?
Yeah.
Skin becomes pay to win.
Or the skin is the same speed because the regular one is actually not that slow, not that fast. So I mean, if it's the same speed, then
No.
it's fine.
No, but the speed difference will be with the animation of gaining stacks. If that's faster, then you'll either desync or you'll have fast.
Remember when we were doing KB5? Oh, not KB5. Yeah, Katarina.
Katarina?
Was-
Yeah, yeah.
Katarina,
Yeah.
and the people with the Galleon skin, the FF7 skin,
Oh yeah, yeah.
was 1 second slower. One whole second. That animation takes forever.
Mm.
We actually
Like
did it with the Katarina one-shot teams that we all did our Chloe on the K-pop Chloe or something, or like Cop
Oh,
Chloe.
yeah, we had Beach Chloe.
K-pop
We had Beach
Chloe.
Chloe.
Yeah,
Beach
that
Chloe,
Chloe
yeah.
skin. That
Beach
Chloe
Chloe was
skin
faster on her
actually
heel,
made-
so it desynced you.
No. It actually like her first skill is faster, so it's mainly like the animation difference in time. And because of the animation of the first skill being closer to the animation of the third skill in time, we had more consistent runs on the one-shot Katarina teams.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's old news because ain't nobody use Katarina anymore, man. You're not building BJ5. Like, why you even rated?
I'm still using KB5.
Wait, how fast is it though? It can't be fast as BJ5.
I run
though.
a place. I run an AP.
Oh no, you told me. You told me this. You told me
Yeah,
this.
that's why I'm
Yeah, I
doing
know.
it.
That's right.
So it's just easier for me because it just works out that way. But I think the Ileana or Sylvia or skin is really pretty.
The
Yeah, I
unfortunate
agree.
problem is you have Neilstone agents. There's already one skin that is we already know is the best. You know, you can't really, ooh, like the Rockstar one is already quite a nice skin for the Neilstone agents.
Really? That's my least favorite one. I like
Really?
the other
That's
ones.
that's a
terrible.
lot of people's favorite
It's the
one, my
worst.
friend.
I like the
Yeah.
kimono one.
I
The
like
kimono
the-
one's really nice.
The Japanese kimono one is my favorite too.
That one is my favorite one. Look at the animation, bro. Look at the animation, bro. Just don't tell my wife, okay? But look at the goddamn animations, bro. Yeah, you haven't seen it from behind? Not that I have looked, but I heard people have looked at the animations from behind. Anyways, yeah, it's I think it's nice.
GOS.
Dude. Yeah, it doesn't have the nicest 3D model though, for sure. But the animations is pretty interesting.
I
Oh,
want to see the
they look nice.
stones. Skullgirls throwing that freaking
Treasure chest?
Is that a
chest.
pirate captain?
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah,
fucking-
yeah, yeah,
It's good, yeah.
Oh,
I really
he's-
hope it's a
that
good.
was
I really hope it's
finally-
good because I don't like their animation. Any of the skins.
Wait, he's
I
gonna
hope
throw.
Galleon third skill is finally faster.
He's gonna throw his treasure chest, and it's gonna explode with coins. Oh my god, that's gonna look
No,
so
no.
good.
If they do it, that'd be so good. But I don't think it's gonna be.
Like he throws the rock up, and when it lands, it's all the coins and all the treasure. Oh my god! Please,
That's what I would want.
please, I hope so. Please, I hope so.
So
Yeah,
I
if they
think
go
they did
for the
really well
style
with
like
the set
the
of
Anubis
skins,
skins they did before, then it's gonna be good.
yeah, the Gundams.
Yeah, the Gundams are really good.
Those,
The Anubis skins
those
are
are
good.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Did I even have that?
The
skin?
next level one, it was the one where the Anubis ones, the skill, the animation, like does that targeting thing, man. Oh,
Oh yeah, that's so good.
that's the juice, man, right there.
I don't even know if I have that.
All right, we got a couple minutes here, maybe a little less than 5 minutes. I know we started the podcast late, so still got some time.
Sorry, my fault.
No, it's fine, dude. It happens. It's cool. Anything else that we wanted to add in here? I guess it's kind of like open discussion now. Anything that you wanted to say? Add in?
Well,
Buff Geldnir. Buff Geldnir.
I think that
Yeah.
just my
got the
estimate
skin,
of
so maybe.
the season. Well, the patch is I guess coming tomorrow or the day after. Because
Yeah,
season
yeah.
starts on the 23rd.
Right.
So it should
Special
be
League's
tomorrow.
23rd. So
Yeah,
what are we
it should
expecting,
be
right? We're
tomorrow.
expecting this developer notes to hit because it has to hit for the Special League and the skins to get released.
Yep.
So it's gonna be 2-in-1. It's gonna be 2-in-1 that's gonna get released. So it should be interesting. And of course, how to rerune, right? I don't know how this. They didn't really go in detail how the rerouting of the RTA is gonna be. So, yeah, I actually think it's just gonna be 2 copies of your current rune sets. And then if you want to change anything in RTA, it changes it only RTA. If you want to change something in regular, it changes it in regular for the rest of your game. That's what I think it's gonna be. I hope they don't make us have to rerun everything right off the bat. So
No, I don't think so. But I don't know if they're gonna offer us a ticket as well. But FRR
They
is in
fucking pay
2
better,
weeks.
dude. Yeah, I don't want to wait 2 weeks to do. What the hell? That would suck.
They will. If you have to rerun with mana, they will give an FFR ticket.
They should give us They should give us
Yeah.
like a 12-hour ticket or something on this patch release.
They
Otherwise
probably
it
will. I would be really surprised if they didn't.
Or
Didn't they give us
or-
a free Rune Day like 1-2 patches ago or 2-3 patches ago because of something I forgot what there was a major change somewhere and then they
Yeah.
But they give us
Rune Day.
another FRR, right? Not
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah.
They
But
give us
yeah, yeah,
another
yeah, they give-
FRR.
no, wait,
Just
you,
then
wait,
they
you
nerf
guys didn't read the developers note. It says that they're actually gonna be when they'll be doing the changes, what they're gonna be doing is they're gonna be selling new mana packs now. So it's like a boost in mana packs, and we're gonna be able to buy that to change the runes for our units. So it offsets the cost a little bit. So
You know,
yeah.
to me and him, it's like, okay, cool.
I'm just kidding.
So realistically, they leave the RTA page untouched. Like, no runes on it. And
That's
the
what
reason
I'm
they do that
assuming. That's
is
what I
because
said.
then you can just ruin it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
best, but that would also be nice that then only ruined units, like RTA ruined units, show up in your box. That would be so chill to draft from.
I think.
Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want.
I don't
Do you
think that
want
they're that. I don't think they're that good at doing. I don't think
That's
they're
a
gonna give us that.
whole
I
brand
mean,
new menu, right?
I
They
think it
have
would
to
be
do.
okay. It would be nice to have, but I don't think they're gonna give that.
If
to
they
us.
don't
You're
give-
expecting too much from Com to us.
If they don't give us that, they need to give us RTA decks soon, like a deck that holds 20, just one.
Okay, stop saying soon. You need to say by blank because soon could be in 2020. Your
It is
dimensional hole
2020.
coming soon.
What was
I
the words
couldn't
that they
get
changed
that.
after coming soon? They put something else. I forgot.
Before February.
Yeah. Then next, because they do like updates every couple months, like some smaller ones, right? Not big developer no updates like this. So maybe the next couple
think-
months. It'd be
I think
nice.
if we got them before the anniversary, that would be fine because that would be one season without them, and that's okay.
Yeah, something like that would be reasonable. But we need a deck for RTAs, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but for sure, I think there's still going to be a lot of issues. Obviously, this is their first time running this. There's going to be problems, and they're going to probably have a quick patch to fix something. But overall, at least this is another step in the right direction, I would say. I'm not necessarily saying for Violent, but in general, for the rune management system, if it's what we want it to be, I think that's a huge step for RTA as well.
Yeah, we still need more
I
grind
can
storage.
give you one that's soon that's even better. They posted on 2016, the 5th of February, that the world boss will change in elements. In the near
yeah.
Actually, yeah, what happened to that word boss?
2016.
I think they were supposed to add more world bosses because kind of hitting the same guy over and over again. It's kind of got
yeah, poor
I
guy.
don't mind hitting the same guy over and over again as long as it gives me LD scrolls and devil bonds. I'm just saying.
You imagine the world boss the last like 4 years. He's like, oh fuck, here we go again. Just another week.
Every fucking day I just call
Just getting slapped by these guys.
I want the statistic
think
to
your
know
Monday
how
was
much
bad?
damage we've done to the world boss in total.
Yeah, I want to see
That
how
would be
how
cool.
Last 4 years.
how much like how much damage we've like accumulated. How much it's increased over the
Yeah.
years.
How
Yeah.
many Devilmon he's dropped? How many that would be a cool stat to give out at the end of the year.
or
this year,
which guild
Summoners
does the most damage
obtained
to it.
51,000 LD
Guild
scrolls
ranks.
from world boss.
Yes.
Guild ranks for the world boss.
Hey,
Has to
E7
be-
has that. Guild ranks. Hey,
Yeah.
E7 has that. You know, it's a very powerful statement
And
when we say
personal
that.
ranks.
E7
And
has
personal
that.
ranks.
No. He said that's
E7 needs
dude.
to just keep pushing shit out. so we
I
can get it
actually
too.
think that I
We need it
think
all.
the Come To Us people from Korea, you know, they oftentimes tune in and they watch this. Yeah, they're sitting there and then all of a sudden they hear the word E7. E7! E7! They're talking about E7 again.
E7
This
has
what
it.
they say is very important here. E7?
Write this down. E7
Write this
has it.
down!
Hey man, I still
This
can't
is
beat
the
any
real
of my
shit.
guild.
Nah, you will be a fool to think that they don't already know, man. Every mobile game developer and team, they are already playing other mobile games and they're looking at everything that all the other top ones
Yeah.
are doing. They know everything
They just
going
pay
on.
people to play other games.
The pro-
You're our game tester. Go play all the games. Tell us what
Sweet.
we're missing.
Just use the company credit card.
to buy some packs.
Geldnir is not good anywhere.
Not even a world boss.
That's a pretty bad unit. I'll be
I mean,
honest
let's
with
be
you.
real. At least he's gonna look nice in storage now, right? He got a skin, right? Coming out.
I don't like the skin, so I'm not even gonna get the skin.
Oh
Not
shit.
buying it.
No, I'm probably
Skin is
gonna.
good.
He's gonna buy it. He's not gonna attach it.
But I heard the new skin changes the passive for Gildner though. That's what a new skin does, right?
I hope so.
I'm just
Or
kidding.
something at least. I
You
don't-
hope so. That would kill the game, dude.
yeah, no.
Yeah, cosmetics that affect. Holy shit, that would ruin the game so quickly.
Yeah, that would definitely ruin the game instantly. Even one speed would definitely ruin the game. I think if it did
Like the-
50 HP, I don't think it would do anything, but I don't know why they would do that. Wait,
Imagine
correct me if I'm
if
wrong.
the-
Back in the day, I feel like when Transmogs or something was first released, it gave stats like 100 HP or so. I don't know if it was a glitch or something. It was like, no, it was something super minor. It was like 50
Really?
HP or like 10 HP. I don't remember, but I remember summoners were had something like that. Where I don't know why it did that though, but it was like nothing. It was like a literal small amount of stat or something. They did give 100 HP. See? I'm not tripping. I swear. Look, Agent Smith said, I swear.
6 people say no and 1 person says yes.
Yeah, but I trust Agent Smith. I trust Agent Smith. Wait, Agent Smith, you also remember that?
Also, Agent Smith also convinced me that I was gonna get rank 20 in TOA Rush, and I got rank 4. So like, he is a troll always through and through.
Comptos confirmed it though. Yeah, was it a glitch or no? I'm just saying. Like, I don't think they did
no
this on
idea.
purpose.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it could have been a glitch
What
because.
is different skin gives your unit different stats. Marching band Sierra gets 15 speed. 'Cause she's
No.
marching.
I think there was. It was something in the coding, like they had to place value it, so that they assigned it something maybe for the way it coded. It was like something minuscule that was irrelevant. So I don't know. I guess we'll look it up. Just fun fact.
Don't want to quit the game. Stop giving them ideas. So
If they made a skin to give 100 HP, I don't think anybody's quitting the game, man. This is stupid.
they gave a skin that gave 15 speed.
Hey,
people.
Okay,
how
that
many
would kill the
times-
game.
How many times have you lost because your opponent was living on like 100 HP?
Brian never loses.
Dude, they're always 101 HP. Even if they have the skin or don't, they're gonna be 1 HP regardless if I fight them, bro. How can make a difference here? I'll tell you that. Alright guys, I think we hit some great topics today. That's all the time we got for the podcast. That was fun. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. And the thing is that this topic, as big as it is, as crazy as it is, as game-changing as it is, this topic is definitely going to be ongoing for the next couple of weeks, this entire year. Because these are implementations and changes that are going to affect the gameplay throughout the entire game from now on. So this is big. Really big.
Honestly, I'm really happy for it. This is honestly it's amazing. Like that, this is like a big change, right? It's like we would never think that the violent changes were gonna ever get implemented. Anything.
Well, I think that it's mixed feelings for me right now. But for next few weeks, through Special League and the start of the season, we're gonna see how people are gonna do things, and that's gonna be what's exciting about the RTA change, right?
Can you imagine all the Redditors? They're all, like, for the last years they've been violent runes, and then finally but like actually there's a change and they're like, wait really changes of violent runes, really? Shit, I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't expect it at all. This was
and
like
you get a fucking,
out of the blue, man.
Redditor's gonna be like, oh, I just got 12% so hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new memes.
12%.
That'll be the new ones. I'm looking forward to all your guys' posts in the live chat.
Redditors.
How come
Redditors
I got 30%? I can't get any procs.
But yeah, 27% my ass. No
Yeah.
violent runes.
Oh boy. What do you say, Tyler?
No.
Most you see the complaints are still Guild Wars and Siege, which is no different.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
now they're gonna get a G1's gonna get fucked by a stronger G1 that's a G3 player, you know? It's gonna happen. You have this guy out there still, like I said. This guy right here.
Yeah. But anyways,
Oh, Brian, show yourself on screen.
what?
Oh, Brian, can I summon my
Yeah,
five
I was just
LDs
about to say before we end off, Rune said he wanted to do 5 LDs on podcasts. Yeah. Dude, if you get an LD at 5, that's gonna be like a new ritual, you know.
You want me to join you?
Yeah, join me.
So you guys didn't know it's his birthday. It's Rujan's birthday,
5?
so yeah.
I got 5, 4, and then
I got 7, but I'll do 5.
Alright, good luck.
Everyone to go.
Thumbs and lightnings in chat.
It's so
Thumbs and
like,
lightnings
I
in
don't
chat,
know,
baby. Let me get those thumbs and lightnings, all you lurkers. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had podcast summons like this before. Actually, Thompson has summoned some,
Thompson.
but like
Thompson
this.
summoned the late Kenner girl. Right?
Yeah. He summoned like 2 LDs, 2 LD lightnings. Get it?
Come on, where's my ragdoll?
This is so hard to do backwards.
This is actually so hard.
Nice, dude. Check it out. This is the gameplay I'm familiar with.
I have no lightning.
Awesome,
come
familiar
on.
gameplay. If you're both doing 10, your average is 16. I mean, we'll be lucky if we see 1 here. Hopefully for Rujan.
Oh wait.
Fuck, I'm summoning everything.
Who?
Nothing.
7. He's summoning a 7.
Oh, 7. I thought he had 7D. I was like, what? Oh, you didn't get any no sparks at all?
Nope.
None.
Okay, I hate
Lucky.
this game. Bye.
Well, I think we gotta be in person, Jeff, to get.
Oh,
like,
wait. What channel were you in? Were you guys in 808?
No. I was in whatever channel.
Oh,
I was
you
in.
fucked. You fucked up. You fucked up right there.
Yeah, fucked up. It's okay.
Anyways,
Jeff, next time I see you, we'll summon again.
Oh yeah, Billy. We gotta summon beside each other. We have to not use Amazon coin and buy it through iPhone. We did that last time, and we both got LD
you might as well wear the same underwear, wear the same clothes, eat the same
If
food
we have
that
to
day
get
again.
LD that 5,
I'll see you at the Hard Rock Cafe, right? That's where it was. That's where it all happened.
Yeah,
so
there was.
see you there.
Oh,
Looks
actually,
like we're
speaking, last year was exactly on my birthday. I got Hertits. Her tits.
Oh
Her tits.
damn, you got her what? Oh my god, happy birthday to you! Oh shit, dude! Damn!
Damn.
Yeah, damn, alright. I don't know what you got a her tit last year, so I don't know what you gonna get this year. But hey, happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday, Rune.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining me on the podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys are watching from YouTube, of course, hit that like, leave a comment down below. I always read through them. We get them ready for future podcasts. And if you didn't hear me yet, there is another podcast Friday night. If you want to tune in live for it, it's actually going to be Saturday morning. It's actually going to be like, I think it's going to be like 1 a.m. PST. Yeah, Pacific Standard
Yeah,
Time.
I'm out.
So it's gonna be 1 a.m. PST Saturday morning, and that podcast will get uploaded to YouTube as well on Saturday. So you got 2 podcasts this week. I'm gonna put their links to all their YouTube channels, Twitch channels, down below. Maybe Rune will start streaming again in the future. That'd be kind of cool, right? But put their channels down below for you guys to check out. Everybody does stream here, so feel free to come by and ask questions or rail them or grill them on any topics that you disagreed with that they said on the podcast. I'm just kidding. Do it respectfully. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking time to join the podcast today. It was a good one.
Thank you,
Yeah, I
brother.
enjoyed it.
Yes.
He said, bye, Fate.
Thanks for having us.
Bye, Josh.
Bye, Josh. Bye, Josh.